Hi, good afternoon. It is December 9th, 2023 here in Sarasota, Florida. And today happens to be my birthday. And I also happen to be getting over being quite sick this past week. First time in 2 years that I've been sick. A few of the guys on the crew I worked with last week entered our work week feeling ill, and I got cocky. And I'm like, oh man, I never get sick. Don't, like they were trying to be as cautious as they could about being around the rest of us, not wanting to pass the germs on. But anybody that's ever worked an event knows, as much as you want to say to a sick person, hey man, like, we get it, stay in your hotel room, that if you lose one hand in an event on an event weekend, that can have some ripple effects. And not all hands are created equal. So it's also no exaggeration to say that losing an unexpected player on the team, losing a starter, is going to affect things a little differently than losing a bench player, like in the metaphor of sports. So, and we had some starters. We had some starters that were entering the week ill. So, it's all part of sort of the adrenaline of the event world. In any case, I got cocky, and as what can happen if you lose your freaking humility, like for real, you have to stay humble because man, life will knock you in the ass as soon as you think that you have any sort of real control over anything other than, your own little minute existence in all that is. So yeah, I got knocked on my ass. I started feeling a little bit of a sore throat last Saturday night, just a little bit. And then Sunday, final race day, full on coughing episodes had started. And in fact, this might be the longest I've gone without coughing since that time. So I'm on the tail end, but all to say, it has made for a really unplanned, interesting week. I had to cancel a birthday dinner yesterday. A friend wanted me to take me out for my birthday. He couldn't do it tonight. He wanted to do it last night. I had to cancel because I still was feeling this nasally and I couldn't stop coughing and my nose was still running. I made a questionable decision to go to the steam and sauna last night at the gym. I don't think I'm still contagious, but I don't know. And I really was cognizant of the fact of, don't cough around, like really try to keep that coughing to a minimum, if at all. But I also really believed the steam and sauna would help work it out. I proceeded to have like a fantastic night's sleep last night. Granted, I cheated. I was on NyQuil. So, fair game there. Don't usually try to refrain from all medicine. But having not taken NyQuil 2 nights ago, I just didn't, it was just awful. And so, yeah, I took NyQuil and had a fantastic night's sleep and had an unbelievable synchronistic experience at the steam and sauna yesterday with this young, beautiful woman named Nairobi from Lakeland who was visiting the gym and like gravitated, like our energies off the charts, synchronistic, beautiful exchange with this young woman last night to sort of kick off my birthday, which would begin officially in just a few hours. Now, what prompted me to turn the recording on right now is I got a birthday card from my dad yesterday. And I read it, of course, yesterday. But I just reread it, and his first handwritten line really struck me and reminded me of a very deep knowing that I feel I have about myself in this lifetime and my story and what I came here to explore and to heal and to share, was ignited with what he wrote. And I'm gonna just read the first line. Dear Alyson, happy 48th birthday. I can't believe you are almost 50. I remember when you were in an incubator at birth and didn't come home for almost 2 weeks. I was born 6 weeks early on December 9th, 1975. And as my dad so aptly reminded me, they didn't get to have me at home until right before Christmas. I was under 5 pounds when I was born, and in the neonatal unit. And my mom said I was born with a whole head of hair. And one of the greatest tragedies, it would seem, is the very first roll of film they had, apparently, of me has pictures of me out of the womb with like a full head of hair, but it was lost. And if I'm remembering the story correctly, and they had to shave my head because they had to put all these nodes inside, and in the neonatal unit, I needed all these attachments, and I was too active. And I kept like knocking them off. So they had to put them fucking out of my reach and shave my head and put them on my head. So they shaved my beautiful head of hair, again, as the story goes. And anyway, on this conscious spiritual journey, one of the many things that happened as like a stepping stone, as a precursor, as a necessary prerequisite for my ultimate breakthrough, if you will, was a regression hypnosis appointment I had on March 1st, 2012 in Seattle, Washington. I think I've shared this somewhere on at least one of my videos over some course of the past 11 years. It's actually unusual that I wouldn't remember exactly which video it was in if I had shared it, but I don't. But I feel like I've shared it at least one time, this story of this regression hypnosis experience I had. I was not able to really go beyond this lifetime. So I was sort of intending to tap into some past lifetimes in this appointment. And the point that I couldn't get, like where I stopped as far back in this life as I went, was my birth point, my literal birthing moment. I was taken to that in this appointment. Excuse me. What I experienced was, as I came through the birthing canal, and I felt overwhelming fear, overwhelming, totally trumping the love that would normally be associated with your parental energies directed towards you because of the circumstances of your birth. In a healthy birthing, it's with both parents, jointly wanting this being. You are received. As painful as it is to come through that birthing canal for us, you're received energetically with love in an ideal situation. My situation was completely trumped and overwrought with fear. And here is what I didn't know. And when I shared this with my mom months later, this is the story my mom told me. Her oldest sister similarly had a situation at the exact time prior to the due date of her firstborn. Her water broke 6 weeks early. She lost the child. My mother's water broke 6 weeks early with her first child. And my mother, historically, is gold medalist of gold medalist warriors. So if you can, it's not a stretch to imagine a gold medalist of gold medalist warriors, what she would feel the panic, the fear, the worry when her water broke 6 weeks early. And then worse, when her firstborn survived the birth, but then was taken immediately and put into an incubator for 2 weeks. In that hypnosis experience, what I came out of it knowing was that the primary theme my soul came here to explore was the theme of transmuting fear into love, the transmutation of fear into love. And I set up a life story to teach me that at such depths that I literally was born into the exact pinnacle of what that energy could be represented by in how we look at life. I have always known that my parents have loved me deeply. But the fear that just dominated those early weeks and my energetic foundation and my connection to them, I've scared the shit out of them, literally, since I was out of the womb. I unintentionally scare the shit out of both my parents and have done so since moment one, literally. When I tell you the intensity of this journey and how I just experienced it through not only what my father just acknowledged in the writing of line 1 of my birthday card, but keeping in mind that I connected to him in an unprecedented way with a homemade Father's Day gift this past year, 2023, and then reunited with him on an effort made by him that was unprecedented at the end of August in Chicago, culminating now with what he wrote and how that just struck me. The puzzle pieces are coming together in a very different way in 2024. And on today, my 48th birthday. And you know me and 4. Me and 4 have a thing. 48, 4 times 2, infinity, 8, 4. This is a great year. This is a great day. This is a great commencement. I'm really ready to work to share the story by painting a different version of the picture. And I'm gonna begin with the story I just shared today, the birth, the birthing of it, the beginning of, oh man, like it's just it's a very strange thing to need to have to be physically so far from an emotion in order to train yourself to be able to be with it fully in the present moment, in the live. There's a reason that my journey took me away from Michigan for college. Again, completely out of my control. I needed this sort of physical distance from my blood family to heal the wounds. And yes, I healed them first and foremost on my own behalf for me. But humbly, I believe that some of us are lineage holders, where part of our mission that we agreed to do in this lifetime was to heal things, not just for ourselves, but on behalf of our family lineage. Speaking of that, a friend is coming to the door with a gift. So I'm going to stop this for now. And that will be all you get for this story today.